Hello viewers, welcome to the program Safe Life. I am Ishini Kathy, and today we are going to be looking at prevention of non-communicable diseases in the community. I am with Daphne Mary from Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance. You're most welcome to the show. Please say hello to the viewers.
Thank you, Kathy. Hello viewers. Daphne Mary Namwere is my name. I'm glad to be part of this show.
Well, just briefly give us your roles within the organization and...
Yes, I work with Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance. I'm a project officer. I'm also leading the non-communicable disease prevention program in partnership with Kawempe Youth Development Association.
Okay. Can you give us an overview of the non-communicable diseases program prevention led by UAPA?
Yes, the NCD's prevention program is a one-year program that started in 2024, January this year. And it's ending in December with the possibility of extension. Basically, it is funded by AstraZeneca, then also the Charities AIDS Foundation from the UK. The focus of this project is to ensure that the youth out there, 10 to 24 years, that's our target focus, are in position to address the risk factors of non-communicable diseases.
Okay, what are the main goals and objectives of this program?
Thank you so much. Just like I've explained, we are addressing the risk factors of non-communicable diseases from, in the youth aged 10 to 24 years. And how are we doing this? We are establishing smart clubs in schools. We are doing capacity building trainings in communities. Particularly, we have 5 zones, that is Kona Zone, Tula Zone, Namere Zone, and Kaida Center. We also have sports activity to ensure that there is physical activity for the youth. How are we doing this? We are employing football, netball, volleyball, table tennis, and other indoor games to ensure that the youth are having positive leisure. We are addressing physical inactivity through physical training, specifically targeting 1,200 youth in Kawempe division. We are doing football, both for boys and girls. We are doing netball, both boys and girls. We have volleyball, both boys and girls. So we also have table tennis and indoor games like Ludo, snakes and ladders, draft, darts, chess. And also, we have started our smart clubs in schools. Particularly, we are existing in 5 schools, and we are looking out for 5 more schools. We have schools like Kawempe Muslim Primary School, New Bubaje Primary, Kanyanya CU, and we are looking out for the government schools as well. Yes.
Okay, and then how do these activities promote health behaviors and lifestyle among the community members?
First, when we employ the positive leisure activities like indoor games, Ludo, chess, darts, draft, snakes and ladders, we ensure that our youth are not out there doing addictive behaviors that drag them into poor health. Instead of someone or a youth going out to drink or use weed and drugs, they are basically doing something better, preferably table tennis, developing talent, and also exploring, living a better life. But that aside, these ones that are engaged in physical activity, football, netball, volleyball, yes, they are also ensuring that their bodies are lively, healthy, living away the sedentary lifestyle that most of us are living. Thank you.
Apart from all that, I believe there are certain achievements that you look at and say, wow, we're really proud of ourselves. Are there any measurable achievements that you look at and say, yes, we've done it?
Yeah. There are achievements. We are in month 4 of the project, but I can say that 70% of what we are doing, of what we had targeted to do, has been implemented. We have smart clubs in place. We targeted 10 schools, but currently we have 5 schools. We have physical activity going on. you can check out our social media pages. You'll be in position to see this. We have capacity building almost done. With capacity building, we have met people in the 5 zones, including of Kawempe division. You can also look through the social media platforms for such evidence, yes.
Okay. And how has been the response of the community members throughout this project?
Okay, initially things weren't so easy because reaching out to the community, one, was quite easy, but the challenge was, by the time we reached out to the community, it was late January, the schools were resuming. So most of our beneficiaries were going back to school. And we had to do the capacity building trainings from within the community. However, we have out of school people, young people that we are engaging, and they are on board. Then for smart clubs, we also got some challenges here and there, approval from the authorities, Kampala Capital City Authority. But later on, the private schools allowed us to penetrate, and the smart clubs are ongoing. For physical activity, I will have to say that it's moving smoothly. Thank you.
Okay, what are other challenges that you've encountered as you're trying to engage community members, and how have you addressed those challenges?
One of the challenges, just like I explained, is the out-of-school children or youth are quite limited. Kudos to the government and to the government that most of our people are now going to school. Back then, we used to have majority of numbers on streets and the like. But currently, when we penetrated the community for the first time, we had very few beneficiaries registered. But with consistent mobilization, we were in position to bring more people on board. And I would like to thank the mobilizers down there on ground doing the vigorous work to ensure that everyone is part and parcel of this program.
Okay. Well, are there any specific indicators or measures used to assess the effectiveness of the program?
Yeah, thank you. Initially, we did a baseline study, a study in the community where our beneficiaries and local leaders took part. They had to fill in some surveys, and this information has helped us to know where did we start from. And we hope to do an end line at the end of the project to ensure, to evaluate that we started like this and this is how we have ended, so the project has been successful or not. But on the look of things, we are seeing much difference.
Well, we've been talking about the non-communicable diseases, but definitely I understand there are people out there in the community who wouldn't understand what exactly we're talking about.
Non-communicable diseases are diseases that cannot spread from one person to the other. I love giving examples. Yes. That's how people understand them better. Diseases like mental illnesses. You cannot find a mad person and you say, oh my God, I'm also mad because I was next to ABCD. Yeah. Then we also have diseases like diabetes, type 2. We have cancer, all types of cancer, throat, cervical, skin cancer, all types of cancer, lung cancer. So such diseases cannot spread from one person to the other. We also have hypertension, we have asthma, and the like.
Okay. What could be the causes of some of those diseases?
Okay. Thank you, Kathy. The causes of these diseases, we have what we call risk factors for non-communicable diseases. Some of these risk factors are sedentary lifestyle. Ugandans, we are developing, not only Ugandans, the whole world, but I'm speaking in the Ugandan context. We are developing what we call a lazy life. You can move a distance of 1 kilometer, but you prefer to use a border of 2,000. You can wake up in the morning and do some little physical activity, but you prefer to live that type of that sedentary lifestyle because it's much easier or simpler. Then also, we also have risk factors like air pollution. Non-communicable diseases can be got through pollution. We used to hear back then in the tobacco campaign, people that were campaigning for the end of tobacco in 2015, saying that we have active smoking and passive smoking. Even if you're not smoking, you can still develop the non-communicable diseases because you're next to a smoker. But that aside, we have industries that are polluting the environment. These days you move in traffic and you're seeing a lot of cars with those, a lot of DMCs, dangerous mechanical conditions, with those fumes, and which is not healthy for you and me. Then also, we have, besides the air pollution, we have physical inactivity. I've talked about it, living a sedentary lifestyle, but we also have unhealthy eating habits. You have to mind what you eat so that you don't get non-communicable diseases. You eat chips, chicken on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. Oh my God, you don't know what you're doing to your life. So you have to check what you eat. Eat the balanced diet, eat the fruits, eat the vegetables, those bitter things. They are all helpful for our life, yes.
Well, apart from doing the physical exercises and eating healthy, what are other different ways of preventing the non-communicable diseases?
Yes, that's why we are encompassing a component of capacity building, sharing knowledge. You who is informed today, when you go back in the village or you talk to your neighbor or your sister or your neighbor or your workmate, try to inform them. When you have the knowledge about non-communicable diseases like you do now, what they are, how are they caused, how are they treated, how can they be prevented, you have to share the knowledge with your colleagues so that you also advise them to do the physical activity, to stop living the sedentary lifestyle, to eat healthy, and things like that.
Well, who is liable to get these non-communicable diseases, and specifically what type of, what kind of group are you targeting?
Okay, who is liable? We are all liable.
Okay.
I am liable, you are, and everyone out there is liable to getting these diseases because we have one characteristic: we are all human.
Yeah.
So that aside, since we are all human, we have the same characteristics. You have the blood, you have, so all the things I've talked about, if they are not put into action, you may, God forbid, get non-communicable diseases. But then our target group, whom are we targeting? We are targeting youth 10 to 24 years in Kawempe division. Out there, someone might be wondering, why are we targeting the youth? Of all places, why Kawempe?
Yeah.
But the youth, I know the question might be those diseases, diabetes, pressure, or hypertension, cancer, are diseases for the old. Why are we looking at the youth now? We have realized that prevention is better than cure.
Sure.
If we start at an early stage to maybe first diagnose and also address the risk factors, then in the future, Uganda is going to have a healthy population. Not a population characterized by people sick on bed with cancer, diabetes, and name it. But also, we are targeting Kawempe division because I know if you have been to Kawempe, you know it is an area that has industries around it.
Yeah, true.
There are very many industries which are contributing to air pollution. So the community out there is liable to getting these diseases. But that aside, Kawempe is a slum-based setting, a ghetto setting. So most of our youth out there are living sedentary lifestyle. They eat what we call chikomando on a daily basis or weekly basis. It's like normal food for them. But that aside, being a ghetto setting, the youth out there are exposed to drugs and alcohol. One of the other risk factors that are left out is alcohol consumption and tobacco intake. When you take tobacco, when you take alcohol, the effects may not show up today or tomorrow.
Sure.
But in the future, you'll be in position to know that, oh my God, I wasted my life taking waraji or name it.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you cannot do all this on your own. We would like to know the different partners that you've had throughout this whole program.
Thank you, Kathy. The partners we've had, the partners we are doing this with, I would like to first of all mention our funders, which is AstraZeneca and Charities Aid Foundation in the United Kingdom. We also work locally with first the project is led by UAPA, Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance, but with our member partner, that is Kawempe Youth Development Association, who is leading us on ground in Kawempe because they are well versed with the society in Kawempe to make sure that we have the project is running smoothly. But that aside, besides the partners and the donors, we also have the people that are doing the work when I'm not there. We have the project team down there. I would like to say hi. We have the project team down there doing everything, making sure that the physical activities are running, the smart clubs are running smoothly. Thanks to the patrons in the schools, we have this team still doing the same, making sure that they are counting and implementing the project as well.
Well, taking you a little bit back, you did mention physical exercises and minding what we eat. The way you see me, I'll say I eat chips on a daily and I'm not affected right now. But then tomorrow I will do the same thing and you will definitely find another person who is exactly like me and they're doing the same things every now and then. But then they're like, I'm not affected in any way. What is your message to such a person with that kind of mind?
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. Just like I explained, the effect may not be visible today or tomorrow, but the effect is going to be visible in a few years from now. 10, 20, 15 years when you're bedridden out there. So it is better, way much better. I know we all like the spicy foods, tasty foods, me inclusive, and but we have to watch what we eat, especially the youth. You still have a chance to live a better life. You still have a chance. Why should our lifespan be at a minimal age when we can a little bit hike and eat? Yes.
Okay.
We have people that are quite unfortunate that were born with non-communicable diseases, because one of the characteristics of these diseases, some of them are hereditary. They move from within the family lineage. So if you were born with diabetes or cancer or name it, you shouldn't feel out of place. You shouldn't stigmatize yourself. These things that I will not say treatable per se, but you can still live a better life compared to how you would live the opposite if at all you are not doing what we are talking about. Wake up in the morning, do some physical activity. Make sure that on a daily basis you can sweat at least 3 hours. 3 minutes 3 minutes of sweat in a day. They can make an impact on your life. Yes.
Okay. Well, what's the minimum if I'm to say I am to walk a bit? Like how many kilometers should I walk at least in a day?
Just like I explained, 3 minutes of sweat, vigorous sweat, not just the normal sweat.
That's what a normal person like me would think.
So at least I would recommend a kilometer or half a kilometer a day to make sure that you have some physical activity. If you cannot walk, we have people that maybe have very tight schedules. You can wake up in the morning, spare 5-10 minutes of your day, do some bedside exercises. They will be enough for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's say I've taken in all these things. What are the different things that I could do to make sure that I take out all these other things out of my body?
Thank you, Kathy. One, I will emphasize the point of physical activity. When you exercise your body, you're expelling the toxins that the body has absorbed probably in the day, the week, the year. So when you do some physical activity, you're expelling that through the sweat. But also when you're eating healthy, your digestive system is marked. You're living a better life. You'll expel out the toxins through the system you all know about. But that aside, be knowledgeable. Be knowledgeable. When you know what causes ABCD, then you know how to address it. We are implementing capacity building trainings for the youth aged 10 to 24 years. How are we doing this? We are implementing through 5 zones. We have a zone in Chisowera, which sits at Kawempe Youth Center. We have a youth center, a zone at Chiganda, which sits at Chiganda Maternity Clinic. We have a zone at Namere, it sits at Agape Church. We have a zone at Kaida Center, where the organization is located. We have a zone in Corner Zone. It sits at right below Reham. There is a medical center called St. John Luke Medical Center. So we do capacity building, that is one way, but we also do reach out to the youth in schools. We go to smart clubs. We have established smart clubs in 5 schools now, but our target is 10 schools because we want to reach a target of 1,200 youth in Kawempe division. But besides, in these smart clubs, we teach these people, first of all, they establish leadership for the club, but we also teach them on what NCDs are, how they are got, what are the risk factors, how are they addressed, and things like that. The same applies to capacity building. However, in capacity building, we incorporate our indoor game sessions where we interest the youth out there to come on board and join these trainings. When someone sees colleagues playing snakes and ladders today, Ludo tomorrow, then they will also automatically be interested. And then in the end of the day, they want to develop their skills, but also have positive leisure instead of going out there and they eat what they normally call it kakola. They eat that, I don't know what they call it in English, but they eat that, it's a type of drug, but that is commonly known in Kawempe division. But that aside, we also have physical activity. So in these physical activities, the youth train on a daily basis. They train netball, they train football, they train volleyball, they also train table tennis on a daily basis. So whoever has a slot maybe on Tuesday could come and train. If one has time on Sunday, they will come and train. If others have time on Friday, depending on their different schedules. But the trainers are present and the equipment is present, so they come and train and make sure their bodies are physically fit.
Well, I would like to know how you source out the different groups or the different categories of people that you have on board. Leave alone the schools. At least for the schools, it's easier. But then how do you manage to incorporate the youths out there, specifically those who eat the different leaves that you mentioned, Kakola?
Yes, thank you, Kathy. Our target group is just, first of all, 10 to 24 years. So if you're above the years or below the years, then automatically you don't qualify for the project. But that aside, we have a target number that we want to reach at the end of the project. So it is first come, first serve basis. And as I speak now, we have a few more slots left, but most of the people that are on board, apart from the smart clubs, whereby we are looking for 5 more schools, but the capacity building trainings and physical activities, most of the people are on board currently. Yes, but that aside, for physical activity, it is always open for the community, whether you're 10, 24 years, because in a project we always have what we call the direct target group and also the indirect target group. So we have already reached our direct target group in capacity building and physical activity, but it's still open for anyone, regardless of their age, to come and do some physical activity because the equipment is there, the center is there, and the trainers are also there.
Okay, you did mention that this is a 1-year program, and how do you plan to sustain the positive outcomes and continue making a difference in beyond the duration of the program?
Yes, the project is 1 year with the possibility of extension, but whether or not it's extended, we hope that because during the project design, we ensure that what we design is sustainable in nature. How? When we establish the smart clubs in schools, even if we leave, as if Uwapa leaves or Kaida leaves, the smart clubs are going to still be existent in these schools. So it's up to, but that aside, you also make sure that these clubs have leadership, which they will hand over with due time to other leaders. So whether we are there or not, there is a school patron, there is a leader, there are leaders in the club, but the club is also there, and there are scheduled times of the week when the club sits. So whether we are there or not, the project will still continue. But that aside, when you go to the communities, for capacity building and physical activity, the equipment is there. It is here to stay with us in Kawempe division. So whether we are here or not, we can still continue with the program. How? The trainers may leave due to the remuneration, but you who have been trained, you can still continue. Currently, we have captains for teams. Each team is having a captain. So in absentia of a trainer, the captain collects the people and they carry on the activities.
Okay. And then what are your future plans as the organization?
As the organization, one, our future plans, I'll speak on behalf of the project, is to, one, make sure that we have a successful population, and we are doing this through the different programs that we are doing, like the non-communicable diseases prevention program. But also, that aside, UAPA, I'll slightly talk about UAPA. We are pushing currently for an alcoholic drinks control bill. Which we believe that if this bill comes in place today, tomorrow, the regulations that come along will be in position to limit or hinder these young people from accessing alcohol, which in the long run contributes to the non-communicable diseases. So if we have regulated consumption, advertisement, and name it, then at the end of the day, that the young person out there cannot access alcohol and drugs. Yes,
that's good. Well, as you wrapping up, would you give your advice or a message to specifically the youths out there, and then to their parents, and in general, the whole the public in general?
Thank you, Kathy. To the youth out there, fellow youth, I urge you to live a healthy lifestyle. Wake up, do some little physical activity, make sure you're eating healthy. I know we enjoy the spicy foods, chips, chicken, but make sure you're you're eating healthy. But also, avoid using drugs and alcohol, because in the long run, you don't know how much grave the issue you're entering into is. You don't know oh my God, you don't know how big the issue you're entering into. So make sure you're living healthy, you're eating healthy, but above all, ensure you're knowledgeable. When you see a TV program that may be talking about you or maybe somebody else, try to pay attention. 2 minutes, 1 minute, but you don't know what you're going to pick from there. Read. For those that are school going or out of school, we have the internet. Make maximum use of the internet. For the parents out there, I thank you first of all for taking care of your children, but I also urge you to do the same for your life, because at the end of it all, we are all human. My name is Daphne Mary Namwero. I work with Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance, also volunteering with Kawempe Youth Development Association. Thank you so much.
Well, just in case somebody would like to know more or maybe know where to find you, just give us the contact and again, tell them where you've come from.
Yes, my contact is 0705 109 104 or 0776 395 195. You can also visit the UAPA website, that is uapa.or.ug. You can see all and get more information from there. Thank you so much.
Okay, it was really nice having you on the show.
It was nice having you too, Kathy. Thank you for hosting me.
You're welcome. Well, thank you so much for staying with us throughout the show. Remember, living a safe life is your right and responsibility. I remain Ishimi Kathy on the program Safe Life.